Good morning.
If you were a man, I'd break your neck for that.
Was this ambition?
Who do you think you are?
Hollywood is always bright and filled with perfect-looking people. But there are a lot of bad, manipulative types hidden away. And one of the worst is a man you wouldn't first suspect. In the shrouded alleys of history and fame, Charles Spencer Chaplain, a cinematic genius whose light-footed shadow danced across the silent screens of the world, harbored a darkness that lay concealed beneath the veneer of his comedic brilliance. This man, revered for his portrayal of the tramp, a character etched in the collective memory of the globe, led a life that was a stark contrast to the innocence and laughter he projected on the silver screen. Born in the dim streets of London in 1889, Chaplin's journey from the dismal confines of a workhouse to the luminous heights of Hollywood stardom is a tale of triumph and tragedy. Despite his ascent to global fame, the personal life of this icon was mired in controversy and shadows. His relationships, particularly with women, painted a picture far removed from the respectful and endearing characters he portrayed. The great Chaplain, a man who found humor in the darkest corners of human existence, was himself ensnared in a web of exploitative and predatory behaviors, particularly towards young women. His matrimonial ventures were marred by unions with significantly younger women, leading to public scandals and legal battles that tarnished his legacy. His second marriage to Lita Gray, a mere teenager at the time, and the subsequent paternity suits painted a portrait of a man at odds with the morals and ethics of his time. These relationships, and Chaplin's treatment of women, have in the light of modern perspectives cast a long shadow over his artistic achievements, forcing us to confront the uncomfortable truth that genius and vice can reside within the same soul. Switching focus to another Hollywood heavyweight, Christian Bale is celebrated not only for his exceptional talent, but also for his intense temperament. A notable instance of Bale's fiery nature occurred on the bleak and post-apocalyptic sets of Terminator Salvation. In this setting, filled with the imagery of destruction and hopelessness, Bale's patience snapped, leading to an unforgettable outburst that has been remembered by the movie industry ever since. The incident was a raw explosion of emotion and anger, impacting those beyond just the movie set. Bale's voice, heavy with frustration and rage, captured a moment that revealed the intense pressures of living in the spotlight. This was not just a simple fit of anger, but a window into the soul of a man deeply dedicated to his craft, willing to push boundaries to protect the integrity of his work. Christian Bale's reaction during Terminator Salvation highlights the fine line between brilliance and madness. In the high-pressure environment of filmmaking, where every second counts against both time and expectations, Bale's dedication to his art acted as both his weapon and his defense. His intense response not only showed him as someone with a quick temper, but as a visionary, utterly committed to achieving excellence in film. This incident, while divisive, underscored the immense pressures that influenced the actions and behaviors of Hollywood's elite. Among the titans of the film world, Russell Crowe is both admired and feared, a powerhouse, known as much for his volatile nature as his iconic roles. Crowe's career is highlighted by moments of brilliant performances and notable controversy. In this section, we explore a particular event that showcases the essence of his stormy character. Many stories circulate about Crowe's temper, which some might write off as just another eccentricity of fame. However, this aspect of his personality is inseparable from who he is. Crowe's intense emotions not only drive his acting, but also his confrontations. One incident in particular showcases Crowe's willingness to stand up for his principles, especially regarding the treatment of his team. Crowe viewed an issue concerning the payment of his assistants not as a minor complaint, but as a significant breach of fairness. He took his grievance to the top, confronting a producer with the full force of his anger. This confrontation wasn't just an expression of frustration. It was a stand for respect and equality. At the heart of Crowe's outburst were deep-seated values of fairness and loyalty. To Crowe, this was more than a financial dispute. It was a matter of principle. His assistants were not mere employees, but vital contributors to his success. Their mistreatment was a personal insult to Crowe, and a challenge to the mutual respect and loyalty that he believes should underpin all relationships. Lindsay Lohan's journey from a promising young star to a figure battling numerous personal issues is both stormy and sad. Her struggle with addiction has been a significant shadow over her career, affecting her reliability and performance on set. Reports of delays, absences, and unpredictable behavior have become common, illustrating the severe impact of her personal demons on her work. Furthermore, Lohan's legal troubles, including DUI charges and theft allegations, have complicated her career and public image. These legal battles have led to rehab stints and community service, disrupting her work and attracting intense public scrutiny. Each legal proceeding adds another layer to the complex story of her life under the public eye, highlighting the fragile balance between fame and personal stability. Charlie Sheen's exit from the beloved TV show 2.5 Men was a pivotal moment in his acting career, filled with a lot of drama and conflict. The reason given for his leaving was severe creative differences, which is a nice way of saying that the disagreements were much more serious than just not seeing eye to eye on the script or how his character should evolve. These creative clashes were really just the surface signs of a much deeper problem, suggesting a big falling out between Sheen and the people who made the show. It wasn't just about how the show was going. It was also about how Sheen saw his role versus how the producers saw it. This big divide eventually led him to being fired, which was a surprise and shock to many fans and people who work in TV. Moreover, Sheen's behavior on the set was far from ideal. People he worked with talked about how hard it was to work in such an unpredictable atmosphere because of Sheen. His range of actions, from strange and erratic to direct confrontations, made him known as a difficult person to work with. These issues did more than just make working together hard. They also made people wonder how someone's personal problems could affect their job. The tales of his behavior on set have become a big part of how people remember him, warning of what can happen when someone famous doesn't have their fame under control. Bruce Willis, a big name in action movies, known for his roles in movies like Die Hard, hasn't always been as great behind the scenes as he seems on screen. Kevin Smith, who directed Cop Out, calls working with Willis a soul-crushing experience. Smith had looked up to Willis before, but their work together turned out to be very difficult. Reports say Willis was uncooperative and hard to work with, making the filming process much tougher than necessary. People working on the film talked about a tense atmosphere on set, where instructions were often questioned, making everyone feel uneasy. Sharon Stone, famous for her role in Basic Instinct, has also been talked about as difficult to work with. There are rumors that Stone liked to mix personal benefits with professional expenses. Allegedly, she used money meant for the production on personal shopping, which not only surprised people, but also raised concerns about how movie budgets are respected. If true, this behavior shows a star who puts fame and success above the teamwork needed in movie making. The stories shared by unhappy crew members tell of a movie set troubled by Stone's demands, complicating the filmmaking process even further. Julia Roberts, known as America's sweetheart for her bright smile and great acting, found herself in a tough spot while filming Hook. The crew nicknamed her Tinker Hell because her behavior off-camera was very different from the endearing character she played. Steven Spielberg, the director, hinted at difficulties working with her, pointing to a discord that affected the set. This time in Roberts' career is remembered for behind-the-scenes drama, with stories of delays and dissatisfaction, and a star dealing with personal issues that overshadowed her role as Tinkerbell. The tension between Roberts and Spielberg brought unexpected drama to the making of the movie, taking away some of the magic of Neverland. In the glamorous world of Hollywood, Steven Seagal stands out as a controversial figure. Famous for his martial arts skills and action roles, Seagal's reputation off-screen is tarnished by his temperamental behavior, causing a stir in the film industry. People who have worked with him describe him as someone whose anger is as unpredictable as a storm, earning him the reputation of being difficult on set. Seagal's behavior while making movies has been a subject of quiet talks and direct complaints. Both people working behind the scenes and his co-stars have shared stories of Seagal being demanding and often unreasonable. His sudden angry outbursts and insistence on having things his way without considering others have made working with him tough. This behavior has led to a working environment that can feel hostile and unpredictable, lowering the morale and effectiveness of film production teams. Seagal's actions challenge the importance of teamwork in making movies and lead to questions about what kind of behavior is accepted in the pursuit of art. Edward Norton is highly regarded for his profound dedication to his roles, an obsession that almost seems too intense. He pours his heart and soul into developing the ideal character and story, often crossing the usual limits of an actor's role by taking on responsibilities typically reserved for directors and writers, such as directing behind the scenes and changing the script. Though he's driven by a deep sense of artistic truth, this approach has sometimes led to disagreements and disputes. Norton's style of working in films involves diving deep into every aspect of the production, exerting influence over the direction and the script. This tendency to work behind the scenes, almost like a shadow director, indicates the strain between his personal vision and that of the official directors. This conflict of creative ideas often results in tense situations away from the public eye. His willingness to be heavily involved in the creative aspects of filmmaking shows his immense commitment to his craft. However, this involvement comes with its set of problems. By wanting to change scripts and offer input on direction, Norton can end up in difficult situations with other creative professionals like writers and directors, especially when they don't see eye to eye. His pursuit of perfection is commendable, but also treads a delicate line between being collaborative and causing friction. Katherine Hegel, once beloved for her roles in romantic comedies, now finds herself in a unique and challenging spot. It's not just her acting that's under the spotlight, but also her habit of critiquing her own movies after they've been released, which has caused quite a stir in Hollywood. This behavior has made her relationship with colleagues and the larger movie industry quite complex. There have been many whispers about the awkward situations Hegel has supposedly created for her fellow actors. Stories have emerged about tensions on set, with some people saying that her directness has made others uncomfortable. These situations hint at an atmosphere that might not always be the best for working together, potentially impacting how well everyone gets along and the spirit of teamwork. What's particularly interesting is Hegel's choice to publicly critique her own projects once they're out. This practice has ignited discussions about where to draw the line between being honest and maintaining professionalism. While some appreciate her candor, seeing it as a refreshing deviation from the norm, others feel it violates an unwritten rule, possibly detracting from their hard work of the entire team behind the movie. Shia LaBeouf is known for picking roles that defy conventional expectations, and his off-screen actions mirror this rebellious streak. He's engaged in various confrontations and exhibited unique behaviors that have made him one of the most unpredictable figures in the entertainment industry. LaBeouf's life away from the camera has been filled with actions as bold and controversial as his choice of roles. From engaging in public art performances to encountering legal issues, he's consistently tested the limits, which has endeared him to some fans, but also complicated his professional relationships and led to questions about his career's longevity. Even more troubling are the conflicts LaBeouf has had with directors. These disputes have added tension to his already complicated image, placing him under intense observation in Hollywood. Directors, who often have to maintain a careful balance on set, find this added stress difficult to handle, making the creative process more challenging and affecting the mood and success of film projects. Sean Penn's name brings to mind two things: his incredible acting ability and the many controversies that have followed him. Penn's life, filled with ups and downs, is as interesting as any movie he's starred in. With a natural talent for acting and a serious, intense way about him, Penn has always been a subject of fascination. His career in movies and his personal life have both been marked by highs and lows. Penn is known for being very passionate and serious about his acting. This passion, however, has also led him to being involved in heated arguments and controversies. Some people have criticized him for being too strong-willed, saying that while this trait has made him a great actor, it has also caused trouble, especially when it comes to accusations of him being abusive in his personal relationships. These accusations have added a dark chapter to Penn's life story, making people look at him in a different light. The legal issues he's faced, which involve claims of abuse and his denials of such actions, feel like they're straight out of a dramatic movie. They show how difficult it can be to handle fame, as every mistake and every personal issue is watched and judged by the public. Val Kilmer is another famous actor whose career has been filled with both outstanding performances and significant controversies. Kilmer is incredibly skilled at becoming the characters he plays, showing an amazing range in his acting. However, his behavior when the cameras aren't rolling has led to much debate and discussion. There are many stories from people who've worked with Kilmer that describe him as a difficult person to understand. His commitment to his roles is clear, but his commitment sometimes leads to disagreements and tension with others on set. These stories give us a glimpse into the complex nature of making movies, showing how striving for perfection can sometimes lead to conflicts. The anecdotes about Kilmer's time on set show a man who is extremely talented, but also willing to challenge traditional ways of working. His deep dedication to his craft is obvious, but it's also clear that he doesn't shy away from causing a bit of disruption in the name of art. These stories highlight the thin line between being a genius in your field and being contentious. Marlon Brando, a legend in the world of cinema, was famous not just for his acting, but also for his ability to disrupt film production with his unpredictable behavior. The anticipation for Brando's arrival on set was always high, as his timing was never certain. His delays could last for hours or even days, causing everything to stop and wait for him. Brando's talent was undeniable, though. He had a unique ability to change scripts on the spot, adding his own insights and ideas. This often led to brilliant moments in films, but it also created chaos for those who had to spend a long time working on the scripts. Brando's insistence on putting his personal touch on his roles resulted in unforgettable performances, despite the stress it caused for everyone else. Furthermore, Brando's behavior sometimes led to physical confrontations behind the scenes. These incidents weren't just minor arguments, but serious conflicts that affected everyone involved. Each of these confrontations added to the complex image of Brando, blurring the line between his real-life persona and the characters he played. Teri Hatcher, known for her role in Desperate Housewives, seemed to be quite different from her on-screen character in real life. Off-screen, she was seen as distant and somewhat cold towards her colleagues in the crew. This behavior went beyond not socializing after work. It created an environment that felt unwelcoming and strictly professional, quite opposite to the warmth viewers saw on television. Hatcher's way of interacting with others made her known as someone who was challenging to work with. This reputation was talked about in the world of TV production, where having good relationships can make everything run smoother. Because of Hatcher's standoffish nature, people around her often felt like they had to be extra cautious, which made working together more difficult than it needed to be. This situation shows how different the atmosphere on a TV show can be behind the scenes compared to what audiences see on screen. Shannon Doherty is a household name that takes many back to the glory days of TV, where she shone brightly in hits like Beverly Hills 90210 and Charmed. Her ability to bring strong, determined characters to life won her countless admirers and high praise from critics. Yet away from the glow of the camera lights, Doherty's career was rocked by a storm of off-screen drama. Her tenure on these shows was peppered with numerous confrontations and disputes with fellow cast members and the crew. Tales of her arriving late, butting heads over the direction of the show, and displaying diva-like tendencies began to emerge. These stories painted a picture of Doherty as someone constantly at war with her surroundings. The culmination of these conflicts led to her being let go from both series. Those on the inside claimed that her departure brought a noticeable sense of relief to the teams she worked with. The impact of Doherty's behavior stretched far and wide, reshaping her career path and leaving a lasting stain on her professional image. Despite these challenges, her undeniable skill as an actress allowed her to continue finding work, though she now navigated a very different landscape filled with altered opportunities and public perceptions. Keifer Sutherland, famed for his captivating performance as Jack Bauer in 24, also encountered his share of controversy. His dedication to the role and the intensity he brought to the set were unquestionable. However, his interactions with some co-stars, especially Freddie Prinze Jr., led to significant backlash. Prinze Jr., a fellow actor on 24, openly labeled Sutherland as the most unprofessional guy in the world. This severe critique was based on experiences so profound that Prinze Jr. considered walking away from acting for good. While the details of their conflict are not fully known, the effect was undeniable, revealing deep divisions that went against the expected norms of teamwork and professionalism in the industry. This controversy sparked a period of introspection within the acting world, emphasizing the value of professionalism and respect, no matter how famous or successful one might be. Despite the blemish on his record, Sutherland's legacy remains significant, shaped by his enduring contributions to the world of TV and cinema. Alex Pettyfer's time in Hollywood has been shadowed by stories of unpredictable behavior and clashes with both co-stars and directors. Labeled as difficult to work with, these incidents sketch a portrait of an actor wrestling with the demands of his career. The root causes of Pettyfer's behavior are the subject of much speculation, but the consequences of his professional relationships and career opportunities are clear. In the wake of these issues, Peder has embarked on a path of self-discovery and improvement, attempting to tackle the problems that led to such conflicts. His talent is still as apparent as ever, and there's a hopeful outlook for his future in Hollywood, suggesting a chance for him to remake his career and personal image. Gwyneth Paltrow has faced her share of criticism for being exceptionally demanding and maintaining a distant attitude towards other stars in Hollywood. This has contributed to her reputation for being challenging to work with. Despite her talent and success, these aspects of her personality have sparked discussions about her off-screen persona. Her demanding nature and cool demeanor have not gone unnoticed, stirring up debates about what it means to be a professional in the demanding world of Hollywood. Yet Paltrow's career continues to flourish, suggesting that while her approach may not always be warmly received, it has not hindered her path to success. As with any artist, the balance between personal expression and collaboration with others remains a delicate dance.